A nervous breakdown. It's a phrase loaded with fear and misunderstanding. It's not a medical term, not something you'll find in a textbook. It's a way of describing a mental health crisis, a point where the weight of stress, anxiety, or depression becomes too much to bear. Imagine a dam holding back a torrent of emotions. A nervous breakdown is what happens when the dam breaks and the waters overflow. Life can be relentless, a constant barrage of pressures and demands. Work, relationships, finances, health. It all takes its toll. For some, the ability to cope erodes gradually, like sand slipping through fingers. For others, a single traumatic event can shatter their sense of equilibrium. Either way, the result is the same, a feeling of being utterly overwhelmed, unable to function in any meaningful way. It's important to remember that a nervous breakdown is not a sign of weakness. It doesn't mean you're flawed or broken. It simply means you're human, and you've reached your limit. Just like a physical injury, a mental health crisis requires care, compassion, and professional attention. If you're experiencing a nervous breakdown or you're worried about someone who is, know that there is hope. With the right support, recovery is possible. It may be a long and winding road, but it's a journey worth taking. Recognizing the symptoms of a nervous breakdown can be challenging, as they often manifest differently in each individual. It's like a chameleon, changing its appearance to blend in with its surroundings. However, there are some common signs to watch out for, both in yourself and in others. One of the most noticeable signs is withdrawal. It's as if a dark cloud has descended, casting a shadow over once enjoyable activities. You might find yourself avoiding social situations, calling in sick to work, or neglecting personal hygiene. Hobbies and passions that once brought joy now seem like burdensome chores. Another red flag is a change in mood and behavior. Depression might manifest as persistent sadness, hopelessness, or irritability. Anxiety can rear its head in the form of restlessness, worry, and difficulty concentrating. You might experience sudden bursts of anger or find yourself crying uncontrollably. Physical symptoms can also occur, adding to the sense of unease and distress. Insomnia, fatigue, and changes in appetite are common. You might experience digestive problems, headaches, or muscle tension. In some cases, panic attacks can occur, bringing with them a wave of intense fear, a racing heart, and difficulty breathing. If you notice these symptoms in yourself or someone you care about, it's crucial to reach out for help. Don't dismiss them as simply stress or being tired. Early intervention is key to preventing a nervous breakdown from escalating into a full-blown crisis. Imagine a house of cards, meticulously constructed, each card representing a different aspect of life. A single gust of wind, strong enough, can send the entire structure tumbling down. Similarly, nervous breakdowns are often triggered by a combination of stressors, both internal and external. One significant contributor is chronic stress. It's the relentless pressure of modern life, the feeling of being constantly on, never allowed to truly rest or recharge. Work deadlines, financial worries, relationship issues, these stressors can chip away at our resilience, leaving us vulnerable to collapse. Traumatic events can also play a role, acting as a seismic shock that rattles the foundations of our mental well-being. The death of a loved one, a job loss, a serious illness. These experiences can leave us reeling, struggling to make sense of the world around us. It's important to note that not everyone who experiences stress or trauma will have a nervous breakdown. Our ability to cope is influenced by a complex interplay of factors, including our genetics, upbringing, and support system. Some people are naturally more resilient, while others may be predisposed to mental health challenges. Recognizing the triggers that contribute to nervous breakdowns is crucial for both prevention and recovery. By understanding the sources of stress in our lives, we can develop coping mechanisms and build resilience, strengthening our ability to weather life's storms. So how is a nervous breakdown diagnosed and treated? When it comes to mental health, seeking professional help is paramount. Just as you wouldn't hesitate to see a doctor for a broken bone, it's essential to reach out for support when your mind is struggling. A nervous breakdown, while not a formal medical diagnosis, signifies a need for professional intervention. The first step often involves consulting a primary care physician or mental health professional. They will likely begin by asking about your symptoms, medical history, and any recent stressors in your life. This conversation helps paint a picture of your overall well-being and provides valuable insights into potential underlying causes. In some cases, a physical examination might be recommended to rule out any underlying medical conditions that could be contributing to your symptoms. Blood tests, for example, can check for thyroid imbalances or vitamin deficiencies that can mimic the symptoms of a nervous breakdown. Once a thorough assessment is complete, the healthcare professional can recommend a course of treatment tailored to your specific needs. This might include a combination of therapy, medication, and lifestyle changes. Remember, there is no one-size-fits-all approach to mental health care. Among the various therapeutic approaches available, cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, stands out as a particularly effective treatment for nervous breakdowns. Imagine CBT as a toolkit, equipping you with practical strategies to manage stress, reframe negative thoughts, and develop healthier coping mechanisms. At its core, CBT is based on the understanding that our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are interconnected. Negative thought patterns can trap us in a cycle of anxiety and despair, fueling the flames of a nervous breakdown. CBT helps break this cycle by teaching us to identify and challenge these unhelpful thoughts, replacing them with more balanced and realistic ones. One of the key tools in the CBT toolkit is cognitive restructuring. This technique involves learning to recognize and reframe negative thoughts, replacing them with more positive and realistic ones. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm a failure because I lost my job," CBT might encourage you to reframe this thought as, "Losing my job was difficult, but it's an opportunity for me to explore new career paths." CBT also emphasizes the importance of behavioral activation. This involves gradually increasing engagement in activities that you used to enjoy, or that bring you a sense of accomplishment, even if you don't feel like it at first. As you start to engage in these activities again, you'll likely find that your mood and motivation begin to improve. Experiencing a nervous breakdown can feel like being caught in a raging storm, tossed and turned by waves of overwhelming emotions. It's crucial to remember that you're not alone and that there are steps you can take to navigate the storm and find calmer waters. If you're feeling overwhelmed, prioritize self-care. This might seem counterintuitive during a time of crisis, but it's essential to treat yourself with kindness and compassion. Engage in activities that bring you comfort, whether it's taking a warm bath, listening to soothing music, or spending time in nature. Reach out to your support network. Let trusted friends or family members know what you're going through. Sometimes, simply talking about your feelings can lighten the load. Don't be afraid to ask for help with practical tasks such as childcare or grocery shopping. If you're experiencing thoughts of self-harm or suicide, seek immediate professional help. Call your local emergency services number or reach out to a crisis hotline. Remember, there is no shame in asking for help, and it could save your life. Recovering from a nervous breakdown. Recovering from a nervous breakdown is a journey, not a destination. It's a process that takes time, patience, and unwavering self-compassion. It's about rebuilding your life, brick by brick, and emerging from the experience stronger and more resilient than before. One of the most important things to remember is that you're not alone. Many people experience nervous breakdowns at some point in their lives. There is no shame in seeking help, and it is often the bravest and most important step you can take. Recovery is rarely linear. There will be good days and bad days, moments of progress and setbacks along the way. Be kind to yourself and celebrate even the smallest victories. Healing takes time. As you continue on your journey of recovery, focus on building a life that supports your mental well-being. This might involve making lifestyle changes, such as prioritizing sleep, eating a healthy diet, and incorporating regular exercise into your routine. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.